Good afternoon, and thank you for attending this virtual book launch of the Capital Market Guidebook titled Financial Intermediation, Operations and Practice, authored by Mr. Seye Adetunmbi, the CRO of Value Investing Limited and the Convener of the Capital Market Roundtable in Nigeria. It is of a particular pleasure for me to be the moderator for this half of the session. I would, in order to keep to time, explain to you that we will be conducting this session in strict adherence to the time, and we are broken into 5 distinct areas. The first area will be the opening ceremony, and then the book review, and then we go on to the presentation of the book to the public, followed by remarks of the special guests we have in place, and then we will have a closing ceremony, which will be a family affair amongst stockbrokers. So that let's get right into it. We will start with the opening prayers by Venerable Deacon L. Esho of the Anglican Church of the Ascension, after which I will recognize dignitaries here present and invite our chairman for his short opening remarks. Can we observe a short prayer now?
Let us pray. Almighty and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day as we gather soul and spirit at this ceremony to honor Jesus and your son, Seye Adetunmbi, as the dignitaries lead presentation of a financial market guide book to the public titled Financial Intermediation, Operation and Practice. We thank you, Lord, for the opportunity and grace given to him to produce this valuable research and dissertation, which by your grace will bring into limelight new brilliant ideas, procedure and dimensions into the operations of the financial and money market in this country. Please, Lord, bless all the dignitaries, lead presenters and launchers who have been invited from far and near to grace this occasion. And Father, please let your Holy Spirit come down in season and direct all the affairs at this lunch. And at the end, let your name be glorified for the success of this occasion. All this we ask in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our Lord.
Amen.
After Seye, Olúwa jẹ́ kí nǹkan tá a ṣe léyìí kó máa gbòòrò sí, wàá di igi àràbà, ayé á máa jẹ́ á máa mú lábẹ́ àṣẹ alákànṣepọ̀, wàá ṣe tiẹ̀ yìí lágbára Olódùmarè. Ojú rere ló máa bá ẹ gbé, ojú rere ló máa mú ẹ, ayọ̀ gbàlà jẹ́ tiẹ̀, inú á dùn kalẹ̀, eléyìí tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ lénìí, ayọ̀ àdìbà. Ní orúkọ Jésù mo gbàdúrà fún ẹ o, tí ẹ ò ní ṣòro ṣe mọ́ o, ìjáde ìwọlé ẹ a máa dùn báyé mú o. Àwọn ní tí ẹyẹlé bá jàtọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ ló fi kórè wálé, ẹ máa kórè wálé ni o. Nítorí orúkọ Jésù mo gbàdúrà fún Adé mọ́ ẹ lórí. Orúkọ Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa. Àmín.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Venerable Esho. We'll now proceed to recognition of dignitaries. We are precisely on time, after which I will then invite the chairman for his opening remarks. The chairman of this Zoom presentation is Dr. Alimi Abdulrazaq, the chairman of Forte, who will be giving his remarks after my recognition of dignitaries, while the special guests of honor are Mr. Atedo Peterside, the chairman of ANAP Foundation, and Dr. Udi Justice Itsueli, the chairman of Dubrin Limited, our respected elders in this forum. The chief presenter of the book is Chief Dele Fajemirokun of the famous family, a distinguished entrepreneur internationally. The lead presenters include our dear Senator Yuguda, former governor of Ogun State and chairman of the National Assembly, on Capital Market. It's delighted to have you here. Mr. Khaled Alabi, Deputy Governor of Kwara State, thank you for attending. Mr. Gbega Alabi, the Deputy Governor of Osun State, our dear state, thank you, sir, for being here. The special guest who will be joining us, Alhaji Lamido Yuguda, the current Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Ms. Arunma, the previous the penultimate Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Ms. Yewande Sadiku, the Director General of the Investment Commission, Mr. Oscar Oyema, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and Mr. Tunde Amolegbe, the President of the Chartered Institute of Stock Association. The book reviewer is Mr. Bola Ajomale, the CEO of the NASD. Other dignitaries who will be here, I'll quickly take a rundown. Our esteemed Mr. Awoyemi, the former President of the IOD, His Royal Majesty Oba Adewale Oshiberu Elefe, His Royal Majesty Oba Atedo Peterside, a very dear friend and senior brother, Chibukola Oluwajiya, Olufemi our senior brother and Ebon, fellows of the CIS, I'm giving a very good acknowledgement, senators and members of the House of Representatives here present, Ambassador Eniola Ajayi, thank you for coming. Professor Dupe Adelabu, the one-time Deputy Governor of Ekiti State, thank you for being here. Mr. Chanda, Mrs. Tanya Chilize of Zambia, Mr. Abi and Vivian Adigun of ExxonMobil, Texas, and our esteemed Dr. Raymond Dokwesi. I will not conclude this thing without recognizing the following two particular groups, the constituencies of the author and the companies here present. The Ifake Ekiti community, the class and schoolmates of IGS, Christ School and Federal School of Arts and Science, Suleja, Ekiti Panopo Forum, the Anglican Church of Ascension of Webi, the Alumni Association of Christ School, Ado Ekiti and University of Ilorin, the Caucus Men, very powerful group, and the esteemed Capital Market Roundtable in Nigeria, the very, very veritable Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and the University of Lagos Squash Racket Group and French School Sports. Particular mention must be made of the following companies who have supported the project up to date: the NASD, Akinwumi and Busari, legal practitioners who are supporting it, the firms of Vetiva, SIAO, Netcap, Forte Oil, Upstream Services Limited, Magnatis Finance and Investment, Chapel Hill Denham, Greenwich Trust Limited, J. Elias & Co., Lead Capital PSC, Signet Stockbrokers, and our esteemed media partners, Business Day, Web TV, who will be covering it. It gives me great honor and in compliance with time to introduce our chairman, Dr. Mohammed Alimi Abdulrazaq, the chairman and board of directors of Forte Upstream Services Limited, who is also the managing partner, House of Laws, the advocates and solicitors with offices both in Lagos and Abuja. Dear Chairman, sir, your opening remarks. Mr. Chairman, sir. If you permit me, I will just try to contact for them to mute the phone of the chairman. Mr. Adetunmbi.
In the meantime, Femi, while we are waiting for...
I would like to go on to the book review.
To link up, can you just run us through the order of program?
Okay, so the order of program, which I've mentioned again for you while he's linking up, and if he's not, I will quickly move on to the book review, is that I intend to have the opening remarks by the chairman right now. And if there is a delay in that, we will not waste too much of your precious time. We will quickly move on to that of the book review by Mr. Bola Ajomale. And then we'll take a brief remark at 2:57 p.m. precisely. The brief remarks by the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, our esteemed Oscar Onyema. And then we'll move on to remarks by the author and the publisher, and we'll lead on to the unveiling of the book. Thereafter, our esteemed Chief Dele Fajemirokun, the chief presenter, would speak with us for about 5 minutes and present his thoughts, followed by lead presenters, our esteemed Senator Ayodeji and the Deputy Governors Bega Alabi and Kaude Alabi, also respectively of the states of Osun and Kwara State, who will speak with us. By 3:20, we should then be able to take the remarks of our special guests, including our dear Miss Arunma Oteh, Miss Yewande Sadiku, and Mr. Lamido Yuguda. And thereafter, we take the remarks of our special guest of honor, Mr. Atedo Peterside and Dr. Itsueli. And thereafter, we take a vote of thanks, wherein we'll move on to the closing ceremony with a family song of the stockbrokers body and a closing prayer. And then there will just be a close of the book presentation. And we intend to keep precisely to this hour and close exactly at 3:50 p.m. If the chairman is available, we'll take the call. If not, I would invite on Mr. Bola Ajomale to help us quickly take on the book review so that we can keep to time. Bola Ajomale. I can see, Mr. Arunma Oteh, your beautiful blue dress is shining light. Thank you very much. I see Mr. Lamido Yuguda also on the line. Thank you also for being here. Our dear Biodun Shobanjo is also on the line. I missed out his name. I see also Mr. Anyokolawale. Thank you very much, sir, for being around. I can see you here. Our esteemed Senator Amosun was on the line. I think the challenge is that I hope to see we have quite a number of people here. It's incredible. Oh, Dr. Itsueli is also on the line waiting for his speech. We will just proceed. Mr. Adetunmbi, do we have the chairman available now?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take the chairman.
The chairman is here to link up. Okay. And I just got in touch with Bola Ajomale, who is logging in.
What about Mr. Oscar Onyema? Mr. Oscar Onyema? If the following persons are not available, can I ask you to please give your kind remarks? I intend to keep to the time, please.
Oscar is supposed to join us later. Yes.
Yeah, we can take you right now with your remarks rather than keep our esteemed guests with. We can take your remarks now.
You want my remarks now?
Yes, because we have 3 persons we have to skip right now who are on.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All due protocols observed. While appreciating everyone who joined us. Okay, so I'm joining us at this virtual invitation. Let me acknowledge all the dignitaries that honored my humble invitation and everyone who made this remarkable event a reality to the glory of God. I admire company of good people of character. This explains the basis of all the distinguished people I contacted on this Zoom presentation. I appreciate your presence. I'd like to formally express my gratitude to the chairman of the Zoom presentation, Dr. Alimi Abdulrazaq, my very good example. I've come a long way with the Abdulrazaq family of Ilorin. Virtual presentation was not on my radar after getting the Financial Intermediation Guidebook published on Amazon. It was his immediate reaction to the extra side that resulted to my hosting the Zoom presentation of the book to the public. He wrote on June 24, 2020, and I quote, "Congratulations, Seye. I cannot wait to order a copy on Amazon. Going by Atedo's recommendation and your professional pedigree, I'm confident it will broaden our knowledge of the capital market. Quite a shame we can't have it presented formally to an audience with fanfare due to COVID-19, but you should consider a Zoom presentation. Well done, Dr. Alimi Abdulrazaq." There we are today. The event was put together in 1 month with 1,000 copies of the book printed. Thanks for accepting to be the chairman of this August event again. I must acknowledge Oga Atedo Peterside, the investment banking guru that I admire a lot. Thanks, sir, for marking my manuscript and for the reassuring forward to the book. I'm too delighted to have you and my Oga, Sir, do more Justus Itsueli, as a special honor section of book in my professional calling. Dr. Itsueli is our pride in Nigeria and the very distinguished president of Christ School Alumni Association. After my Owoyemi Akeju practically made me his PA on Christ School alumni matters, Owoyemi has always been there for me. Thanks for accepting to be a chief guest of honor, sir. Chief Dele Fajemirokun has always been an inspiration to me right from when I met him in Anglican Church of the Ascension, where I've been worshiping since 1990. He made his mark as a distinguished entrepreneur, and today is a major stakeholder in the Nigerian stock market, with one of the foremost companies is quoted in the insurance sector. I couldn't think of a better person to be the chief presenter of the book to the public than Oga Egin Odidimade. Thank you, sir. Thanks to the distinguished Senator Bikunle Amosun, chairman of the Senate Committee on Capital Market, for being a lead presenter of the book to the public. He sits next to my brother in the hallowed chamber at Upper House in Abuja. Likewise, my friends, Deputy Governor of Kwara State, Osun State, Mr. Sky Alabi and Goyega Alabi, thanks for making our time to associate with the presentation as lead presenter. How can I present a strategic book on the financial market to the public without the headmaster of capital market in attendance, Alhaji Lamido Yuguda, the Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission? Thanks for honoring my invitation. The lady technocrat that I admire a lot, and other former DGs of SEC who graced this Zoom presentation. I appreciate you loads. MS Yewande Sadiku, the Director General of Nigerian Investment Commission. Thanks for honoring my invitation as a special guest. By extension, I appreciate your coming, Oscar Awoyemi, I'm sorry for that break in transmission. And I can see that the chairman is back. I'm almost done with my remarks. So, like I said, I've always admired the brilliance of Bola Ajomale, the managing director of NASD PLC. This is why I'm delighted that he reviewed the book, and I'm sure he will do justice to it clinically and professionally. Thanks, my beloved professional colleague, in whom I'm very pleased. When I joined the capital market in 1990, I saw the need for a guidebook for operators and practitioners, and I started taking notes. I didn't mean that the book was published when it was ready in 1994. A section of it, as of today, will have been analog based and will have had to review it now. The debut of this book now has made the book to be digital era compliant. All that I have to say about the financial market are in the book, including my talk of the sector on a professional note. But at this point, let me say, information is key for the growth of the market and to also enhance professionalism. That's why books like this is good and strategic for the market, because if the client is adequately informed, if an issuer, for instance, is knowledgeable about how the market works and operates, it makes it easier for the investment banker in-house to do the job adequately. So in essence, knowledge brews professionalism and enhances competitiveness. I must acknowledge members of the Capital Market Roundtable in Nigeria. I developed myself by associating with people who are better than me so that I can learn from them. Thanks for believing when I approached you, distinguished learners and senior colleagues, to join the forum. I must at this point acknowledge my friend. I didn't attend Yale, but because he attended Yale, I was able to get a bit of Yale experience, and that's in person of my good friend Seye Adetunmbi. He's a mobile expert. I gained a lot from him, and he supported me while I was in Zambia. He actually invited me to Zambia when he floated Data Bank Zambia, when I organized a national workshop on IPO. So I thank you, Seye, and I'm glad that Seye and his wife Vivian, they are here. And also my friend in Zambia, Chanda Chileche, they are also part of us here. At this point, I'm wearing two caps as a publisher and the author of this book. I must say that Mindscope Africa as a publisher is getting better with each publication, as evident in this book. We will continue to improve in necessary quotas based on feedbacks towards raising the bar in publishing business, while counting on more patronage for everyone. My sincere appreciation goes to my Lord Bishop of Ekiti Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Olatunde Ubowale, for the Episcopal blessing on the book launch, and Venerable Lele Shaw, one of my mentors, and my vicar too, who is here, Venerable Adewale, thank you. I acknowledge all the various constituencies in which I have been active over the years. You are part of my DNA. To my family members, your immeasurable support is appreciated. Thanks to my brother, Senator Ayodeji, for your remarkable support on this project. Thank you for the rare honor you have done me. God will honor you manifold. May the grace of God continue to be sufficient for all of us. Thank you very much. Over to the chairman. Okay. Should we get it? Unmute.
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First of all, let me apologize.
Good afternoon. We can hear you, sir.
Let me apologize profusely for my not being online. I really do apologize. It's due to some technical glitches here in my office. So please pardon me, and I do hope and pray that my apologies will be accepted by you all. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all formally to this event. This event is unique. It's unique in the sense that it's probably one of the first few virtual presentations of textbooks by a Nigerian here in our territory. Seye's new book, which is entitled Financial Intermediation, Operations and Practice, is not a new book from him. It's really not his first publication. Seye is a prolific author. And when he called me a few weeks ago to inform me about the book, I was quite excited. Excited in the sense that as a capital market solicitor, any journal or book that deepens one's knowledge of our field is most welcome. I have known Seye for decades. He was a contemporary of my younger brother Isiaka at the University of Ilorin in the 80s. And he's also a very good family friend. He is brilliant, to state the obvious. His other quality is that of humility. So when I asked him about a formal presentation of the book, he gave me a shocking answer. He said, well, the book is going to be available on Amazon. I was really shocked. Yes, I can understand.
Bola is on ground now.
Can you hear me?
We can.
So I was shocked when he said that the book will be presented on Amazon. And I said, oh, wow, this will be a great disservice to the Nigerian capital market operators, and also an injustice to his pocket. To allow the book to be lost in the labyrinth of books on Amazon. So anyway, here we are today. And I welcome you all to the new normal. Thank you all for attending this event. I pray that by the end of the day, by the time and the presenters as well, you will be further enlightened. Now to the book itself. I have read the book because it gave me the privilege of an autographed copy, a priceless autographed copy of the book. Indeed, a remarkable and enlightening text. Let me try and avoid straight into the jurisdiction of the review of the book, the erudite and Bola Ajomale. So I'll limit myself to just two aspects. First, I'll talk about the photographs. The collage of pictures in the book bring back memories of the pioneering titans of the capital market. It reminds you somewhat about their vision and their dedication to building the capital market. It also raises questions and throws challenges. Questions such as, has the capital market lived up to their expectations? Has it grown beyond their dreams? Have the regulators been up to speed? What does the future hold? Gladly, the text of Seye's book captures most of his questions and provides answers. The second aspect of the book is the manner in which the book is punctuated with amazing quotes from Warren Buffett. And Seye limited his quotes to Warren Buffett. So I'd like to ask him why Warren Buffett. But the best of Warren Buffett's quote, which is I think in page 18 of the book, is this, and I quote: in the business world, the rear view is always clearer than the windshield. I repeat that. In the business world, the rear view is always clearer than the windshield. This is quite true. I wonder how Mr. Buffett must feel now, wearing his face shield and looming over his loss of billions in stock holdings. He would actually thank me. He would reflect deeply on the truth of his statements. Anyway, notwithstanding these challenges, underlying strength of the U.S. capital market through regulation, responsible operators continues to sustain the U.S. economy. The Guidebook goes a long way. The Guidebook goes a long way in establishing lessons and pathways to a robust capital market, a Nigerian capital market. In conclusion, Excellency, let me thank Chair for the in a less significant role of the chairman of this virtual event. Since Chair knows very well that I do not punch above my weight, he has happily invited certain heavyweights present here with us today as presenters of the book as well as special guests. So I'm confident that the likes of His Excellency Senator Deputy Governor Chief Dele Fajemirokun, the Chief Presenter, and my brother Atedo Peterside, and my senior brother Dr. Itsueli, as well as our sisters Arunma, Oteh, and Yewande Sadiku, would bring their weight to bear and do justice in their financial intermediation to shares investment in the book. I thank you all for listening. Thank you very much. And once again, I apologize.
Thank you very much, sir. In order to respect the time of the distinguished members of the audience, including our esteemed members of the legislature, of our governance, and of our professional bodies, we'll quickly move on to the book reviewer. And I think that Bola Ajomale will recognize that the chairman has done some insight into his job. The book review is book unveiling is supposed to happen at 3:05, 3 minutes past 10. So, Mr. Ajomale, being a professional that you are, I hope you can help us do the book review justice and make sure that we can get a copy sent out to all members who attended this presentation thereafter. Thank you very much and welcome, Mr. Bola Ajomale.
Thank you very much. And my apologies for coming in a few minutes late. I again was dealing with one or two technical issues. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here. Seye has written a fantastic book on the Operations and Practice, Financial Intermediation. It's excellently produced and it succeeds as a chronicle of the pivots and the tools of the Nigerian capital market. Every single one of the 319 pages touches on one of three things: either a thoughtful gem of wisdom on the capital market, or it's a revelation of why, who, or how, or it's just a recollection, a wistful recollection of an era that has passed. It will satisfy any of a group of people, analog stockbrokers such as myself, new entrants to the market, students of business disciplines, market analysts and reporters, a whole range of everyone, of people who are involved in the market, and even those who are not in the market, who are further away from the market. They'll be slightly beguiled with the center spread of pictures in the middle, and also the 17 quotes from Warren Buffett. I found those quotes slightly distracting once in a while, partly because of how poignant each quote was, and also because sometimes your mind is still set on the quotes while you're reading the chapter. But excellent coordination in those. But that's where the fun again ends. It's no doubt a very serious book and a deep dive into the development of the Nigerian capital market. The first two sections read a bit like a textbook, and they go through the evolution and structure of the market. But by the time you start thinking you're just studying a textbook, you hit the third segment, which then touches on strategies and best practice recommendations. So there was a very smooth transition from textbook to recommendations. And then the fourth segment now provides a certain kind of relief, because he now leads us through a simple structure of some existing derivatives and funding options in the market. I'm not going too deep into the subject matter to make it difficult to read, but touching on the possibilities that may happen in our market. If you carefully observe, that center spread actually provides some kind of recess from capital market history class into philosophy class, where he starts a very honest, somber soul search of the capital market. In the first two chapters, he documents his hopes as a determined and forward-looking professional for the markets since it was in the early 2000s. At the end of the 12th chapter, he actually ends with, and I quote, "This should have a multiplier effect on the economy vis-a-vis employment and increased productivity." Again, at the end of chapter 13, he ends with a promise again that, "and this too shall pass over." Sadly, both comments are very stark contrast to the current realities in this country, and readers will be forgiven if they mistake these to be the words of a very well-intentioned but terribly inept soothsayer. The 14th chapter is probably my favorite, and that's because it's cheerful, and it's a cheerful contrast to the previous chapters, The Dawn After a Dark Night. It brings, however, its own conflict of emotion, but from a totally different perspective. It's a brief lecture on the pension industry written in 2005. And at the end of that, you would have a sense of pride that our pension industry has so outstripped its projections that we had in 2005. But that would then be contrasted with a sense of regret that you did not actually position yourself to ride on that tide even closer. It's a kind of, it gives you the kind of effect of, it happened before my very eyes, but it's all good. And then in the 15th chapter, in a book like this, it would be unusual to expect to see a story of love and of passion in a book like this. But in the 15th chapter, he declares his passion, his hopes, his appreciation for, his jealousy for what he calls his indisputably endowed object. He offers a long-term relationship to join his object of desire on a very long journey. And that offer is both romantic, but also interlaced with very pragmatic solutions to any problems they may encounter along the way. He concludes very emotionally with the word appeal, using that twice in conclusion. And he thanks her for allowing him to come once more this year to state his case. It's only a truly dispassionate reader that can resist rooting for Seye in his quest. And what was his quest? To move Ekiti State forward. I wish more Nigerians can learn from his passion to move his home state forward. It's a lesson for all of us. Chapters 16 and 17 moved very quickly through the African Association of Security Exchanges of Africa conference, and also some musings, random musings in 16 and 17. And then the reader will be jumped in chapter 18 when he examines the impact of the 2008 global meltdown on the Nigerian capital market and the economy at large. It's truly a deeply academic exercise that would reward those who are patient enough to read it, those who are inquisitive enough to know what happened, and any kind of analyst. It, for example, answers or asks the question, where did all the money go? It also extrapolates the effect of the market crash on the Nigerian GDP. He then reaches conclusions using coefficients and regression analysis. And I think it's really worth, for that chapter alone, it's worth a study. He closes the book with an excellent collage of quotes from seasoned influencials in the market, many of who are in this meeting, but many who are not. And any of the suggestions or initiatives that were proposed, if any one of them is followed in a disciplined manner, it would definitely change the landscape of the Nigerian economy. The chapter also touches on the coming upstream of two additional securities exchanges, FMDQ and NASD OTC, and suggests that these exchanges have both raised the ceiling of and deepened the Nigerian capital market. Overall, Seye has written a really fact-based background to Nigerian capital markets with events dating back to 1946, documenting the commencement of the Lagos Stock Exchange in 1961, trading with just 3 securities, preference shares. And it's a bit more than just a mere historical random walk. It actually identifies structural problems, such as the inverted yield curve that Nigeria has been dealing with for quite a while. It identifies the threat from foreign direct investment as well. And readers will certainly commend his tenacity in putting together such an array of talent and will be heartened with the optimism expressed. I will conclude that it's been an honor to look at this book and read it and have one of the first reads and also get a copy of such an excellently produced book. It's a detailed memorial of the efforts of the many Nigerians who have shaped the landscape of our market, and definitely a wonderful addition to anyone's library. Mr. Seye Adetunmbi, I would congratulate you once again. Fantastic job and well done, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ajomale. Reading a book, a voluminous book in such a short minute of time. We'll make sure that your full review is made available to all members. I would like to acknowledge the presence of a few members who might have. I will continue to do so in the order of this day, but I would like to acknowledge the following: Ladipo Esho, Victor Odunsi, Larry Bakari, Chasi Yore, who has been online. I missed in the first introductions, my apologies. Mr. Yinka Soni, Seye Adetunmbi, and my dear senior elder, Biodusho Banjo. In case you are seeing him on the line, he's using the tag BB Mark. I needed to expose him so that you can all know that he's also online. It is my great pleasure to invite the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, my dear brother, Mr. Oscar Oyema, to give a brief remarks. And thereafter, I would invite the author and the publisher to unveil the book. Thank you. Mr. Oscar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Awoyemi, and good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting me to participate in today's discussions. The first time that Mr. Awoyemi called my name, I was muted, so I was waving my hand. So thank you very much for unmuting me. I must start by congratulating the author, for writing such a wonderful book, Mr. Seye Adetunmbi. This book fills a lot of vacuum that has existed with regards to seminal books that talk about the market, the Nigerian market, just the same way we read about other markets around the world. Most of you here are my doyens, and you've lived through a number of the issues that have been addressed in this book. I think it is very apt that such experience is documented in a book that generations yet unborn can have access to. As we continue to make history, it's important that other people learn from that and build on the foundations that we've done here. I must conclude my very short remarks by congratulating 100 and something page document in less than 10 minutes. I thought that was very well done. And I think that it will be very apt for me in front of everybody to beg Seye to send me my own copy so I can read it as well. With that said, I congratulate him and I thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Mr. Oyema. And on that note, I'll quickly invite Mr. Adetunmbi. And I must remind him that I'm 12 minutes behind schedule. And these distinguished members who have been here would like to all have a say. And in order to manage that, we can quickly proceed to the unveiling of the book and then move therefore to the chief presenter's remarks, Chief Dele Fajemirokun therefore. So permit me to invite Mr. Seye Adetunmbi to quickly unveil the book for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Femi. This is how we go about the unveiling. The Right Reverend Olubowale will quickly do his remarks. Thereafter, we unveil the book from his hand. It's going to bless the book. Thank you, sir. The Lord Bishop, sir. Okay. In absence of that, we've not been able to locate the Lord Bishop. Maybe he's having issues with connectivity. We'll go ahead and unveil the book. My elder brother is here and is going to do the unveiling on our behalf. Then we'll display the book to everybody. Thank you.
Let's all be here. To the advancement of knowledge and glory of God, hereby unveil this book.
Thank you. So over to you, Femi. And at this point, Mrs. Olaniyan is going to introduce the chief presenter. I feel like it's one. What I do here. What did I do to bring this class?
Hello?
Femi, call on Mrs. Olaniyan to introduce the chief presenter.
Okay. Mrs. Olaniyan, I just thought that she would pick it up. My apologies for that. Mrs. Olaniyan will now anchor the rest of the session going on by introducing the chief presenter, our esteemed chief, Dele Fajemirokun. Mrs. Olaniyan, madam. Mrs. Olaniyan. If she's not unmuted right now, can we unmute her? Mrs. Olaniyan.
She's unmuted. She's unmuted already.
Okay, and then they should also unmute Mr. Dele Fajemirokun, please. Chief Fajemirokun, please. He has been eager to talk to us. I see him smiling, so that's okay. So, if they can tell unmute Chief Fajemirokun, we can proceed.
I can proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Egbons and Aburos, and all protocol observed. I had 3 distinguished invitations to present this book. I don't know why Seye did that to me. He sent Mr. Shobanjo to me first, and then Mr. Luadia too. And I said, he has access to me directly. Why not? And he's sending me all the WhatsApp. You know, am I so much, is he afraid that I may give him COVID something on the phone or whatever? Anyway, my remarks goes as this. As a number of people have remarked, this book displays an array of sumptuous menu of historical and empirical knowledge about the Nigerian financial market and its development over time. For me, it indeed brings out a number of interesting opportunities in which I participated and still participate. There are, of course, challenges as the market continues to grow, but these are not insurmountable as the experiences of the past captured in this book has demonstrated. I must congratulate Seye again. I've been congratulating him right on the social media for his efforts and encourage him to set out in earnest to begin immediately to start on the new edition, which captures the impact of technology on the markets in a way that makes the launching of the book possible today